Your word is anchor. Did you hear me? Your word is anchor. Anchor. Hold on. Spell the word anchor and identify the consonants in the word anchor. Your time starts now. I think the next time just realized your time is up and had to cut you off like automatically. Yes, this is a wonderful test for you. And the consonants you started with A, that's totally wrong. The consonants are NCHR, NCHR. Those are the consonants in the word anchor. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hi.
My name is Chukwueze.
Chukwueze, how old are you and what class are you in?
I'm 10 years old. I'm 24.
Chukwueze, pick a number. Let me call out the numbers that we have here. I have numbers 10, I have number 10, 8, and 5. So pick any one.
Number 5.
Number 5. Your word is amplify. Did you get that? Your word is amplify. Amplify. So either increase in volume or quantity or details. Amplify. Your word is amplify. Spell the word amplify and identify the vowels in the word amplify. Your time starts now. Okay, you spelled the past tense. I said amplify, not amplified. Okay, amplify is AMPLIFY. Amplify. The vowels are I, just one vowel. Amplify. Okay, sorry, an A and I rather. A and I. Alright, and that is exactly where we come to an end for today's edition of the Kiddies Playground. But of course, I wouldn't go without telling you the word for today. Today's word happens to be love for something. Okay, the word is agastophobia. Sorry, not phobia, rather. Agastopia. That's the word. Sorry, I find it difficult because it has something like phobia behind it. So it's not a fear, it's a love for a particular part of your body. So if you have a long hair, you actually love your hair. You always adorn your hair, looking yourself in the mirror and imagine how beautiful you will be when you style your hair in different places. You have a very pretty eyes. You adore yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror and be like, oh my God, I have a very lovely eyes. If you have a very good lips, oh God, I love my lips. You have a very good hands. Whatever part of your body you are just in love with, you'll probably have agastopia. Okay, agastopia. It's a particular love for a particular part of your body, just one part of your body. Okay, like I said, hair, eyes, nose, mouth, lips, whatever part of your body you love so much. Agastopia is spelled Agastopia. 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 Thank you so much, kids. This is where I enjoy the cutting on today's edition of the Kiddies Playground. Let's do this again tomorrow. One tip I'm going to drop for you against next week's game. Please go back to your current affairs book. Go back to your current affairs book. Start learning. Next week is going to be a Glasgows, if there's a word like that. This is going to be interesting, just remind me, okay? I'll never forget to say that I love you, and my name is Orlando. I love you.
Yeah, the best time too. There's nothing better than spending time with friends just like you. I love you, you love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too?
Don't you touch that dial.
Sugar, don't touch that dial.
Okonofua Foundation, in collaboration with the Edo State Ministry of Education, presents the third edition of the annual Educators Appreciation Ceremony, the Okonofua Foundation Teachers Awards. Who emerges 2020 Edo State Overall Best Teacher? The answer will be revealed on Thursday, the 10th of September 2020 at New Era College, Upper Mission, Benin City. Time, red carpet 1 p.m. Main event 2 p.m. Please note that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, attendance is strictly by invitation. All invited guests must wear face masks and social distancing must be observed in the hall. Awards will be won in 22 categories. Each winner will get a plaque and 100,000 naira. Every nominee would also receive a prize. Okonofua Foundation, bridging the gap.
Turn us up. 92.7.
Entrepreneurs, business owners, and organizations. KUFM 92.7 has an impressive and constantly expanding number of followers online. You can now advertise your goods and services on KUFM's social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Take advantage of our online presence and reach out to our growing audience at very affordable rates. Call 0703 109 4612 or 0806 530 5657 or 0802 232 7191 or visit our marketing office, top floor, Enterprise Foundation Building, number 62, Ihamaru, GRA, Benin City. KUFM, your business partner.
Welcome to the newspaper headline review on 92.7 KUFM Benin City. My name is Charles Oparum.
I am Godfrey Balando. Good morning.
Let's get started this morning from the Premium Times newspaper. And the headline, the first headline here is Why Buhari removed subsidy on petrol, electricity, presidency. Passengers burned to death in Anambra bus fire. Updated Boko Haram Nigerian military allays fears of Abuja, Kogi, Nasarawa residents. Again, federal government, states, local government share 676.407 billion naira for July. Okay, all right, July in the month of September. Okay, fine. Buhari off to Niger to address ECOWAS leaders on COVID-19. That's from yesterday. P&ID scandal. Magu deserves praise, not ill treatment. Lawyer. Check your salvation if you're still afraid of death at 70. Adeboye. We spent 31 billion naira in 4 months to fight COVID-19. Federal government. And this one says Magu, pastor sues bank over 573 million naira claim. Fuel price increase inhumane, insensitive, group says. And this one says 2 Nigerians arrested for cloning Dutch companies' websites to defraud German firm. Okay. Okay. This one says P&ID embattled lawyer Olasupo Shasore speaks silent on corruption allegations. And still on the Premium Times, armed men attack Lagos monarch. NLC protest in Port Harcourt will be illegal, Rivers government. And then follow up, NLC president accuses Wike of planning to attack Rivers workers. Edo 2020, I will defeat Oshomale in his ward, Shaibu. Special report, failed faulty constituency project, Lita Oyo. And this one says FRSC impound 8,345 vehicles for violating COVID-19 safety protocols in Anambra. Minister urges FRSC to address traffic congestion within FCT metropolis. FCTA offers automatic employment to 2 core members. God sent me to kill herbalist. Pastor facing murder charge says. Okay. And 9 persons sentenced to death in Kano in 8 months. Nigerian Air Force to stop. Okay, Nigerian Air Force to airdrop food for IDPs in remote locations. Official. And this one says, shift your swords. Gombe monarch tells Luda Waja tribesmen. Southern Kaduna, Yeti Allah resolves to make peace with neighbors. Okay. Khan chairman recovers from COVID-19. And this one says, Southern Kaduna attacks 2 warring communities, sign peace pact. Okay, and that's it from, of course, that's it from the Premium Times. And from there we cross over to the Daily Trust newspaper. What does the Daily Trust have in store for us this morning? This one says, COVID-19, millions of children at risk of measles, polio due to vaccination disruptions. Federal government spends 5 billion naira monthly on IDPs, Senate panel. Terror alert. Fear grips FCT residents. DHQ urges vigilance. And this one says NSE applauds construction firm on services. Rights Commission, NACA partner to tackle HIV stigmatization. Peace Building Development Center gets new BOT. What manner of a constitution review? That's an opinion. Article, checking violence and hate speech in Edo 2020 political campaigns. Alright, and this one says same audit. Communication centers will stem insecurity. NCC. Okay. On the sports side, Giroud relishing Vienna competition at Chelsea. Azarenka finally feeling the joy of tennis. Djokovic. Okay, this is an older headline. Djokovic disqualified actually. On this one's political side, Sokoto PDP elects LG Exco through consensus. Imo North Senate seat contest. Imo North Senate seat contest divides APC PDP members. Oshomale's Exco was sacked to end crisis. APC. Oyo APC crisis deepens as stalwart Sean Akala led peace parley. Okay. And this one says return of additional African Development Banker. Okay. How do I stop feeling guilty for the terrible way I treated my family? On the entertainment side, Erica ousted from Big Brother house. Okay. In Edo, others pledge women can run, win polls. And still on the Daily Trust on the business side, NSE applauds construction firm on services reporting bank gross 1.2 trillion naira revenue in 6 months. Ethiopian Airlines resumed Abuja Lagos flights. And that's it from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, let's move over to the Punch newspaper this morning. And here says the first line, economists urge federal government to harness real estate capital. Why I have decided to support Ize Iyamu against Obaseki. This is coming from Okumbo. And Institute to embark on building condition survey. Bayelsa Assembly Speaker denies fleeing with maize. NLC tackles Rivers over alleged plan to scuttle protest. Oshun probes baby factory allegation against orphanage. Government Q3 kidnap scores in Abuja, in Kaduna community. I beg your pardon, I apologize for that. Kaduna community. INEC security agencies face top task as Edo governorship poll holds. Edo plaque decries character assassination, calls for restraint. Post-coronavirus global economy and international order. Nigeria spends 5 billion naira monthly on IDP's Senate panel. We will implement new economic plan January 2021, says Minister. Knocks for federal government over petrol price, electricity and tariff hike. 13 power plants shut. Discos rejects 8,733.39 megawatts in 1 week. Real estate sector contracted by 17.18%. NBS. Ogun offers 30% discount on land charges. NIPO set to inaugurate smart offices. We inherited 500,000 housing deficit, says Ogun government. Petrol deregulation will facilitate fresh investments, DAPMAN is saying. And this is the Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria. And moving on, Ethiopian Airlines resume flights in Nigeria. Ogun plans business-friendly policies. FRC moves to finalize audit regulation. NIMASA reviewing cost of carrying Nigerian crude. Western firms planning $5 billion investment in power sector. Lagos state government reopens recreational parks. And on business, Naira set to gain as CBN resumes forex sales. 600 million Naira debt, Amcon takes over Hydro Hotels. And more coming from business 131 millionaires emerge in Dangote Cement promo. All right, moving on. Stock market extends weekly gains by 160 billion naira. And away from business, CSO demands details of federal government's 30.5 billion naira COVID-19 expenditure. They've given the details. Go check it out. It's on the Punch newspaper. And moving on, we are prepared to foil terrorist attack on FCT, says DHQ. I saw a write-up, there was a letter that was going viral. Anyways, check it out, the details of this headline on the Punch newspaper. Federal government has begun investigating PNID bribe takers, says AGF. Allow Amoteco and Hisba, others transform to state police at Kinrade. COVID-19 pandemic, experts warns of massive surge as Nigerians abandon face masks. Curfew, police detain Lagos doctor as pregnant woman baby die. Okay, read the details on the Punch newspaper. Federal government airdrops relief materials in dangerous Borno terrains. STD, teenage pregnancies increased in Ibadan during lockdown. Check it out. Talking with ASU, private universities ready for reopening, says after Babalola. Edo Monarchs boast APC campaign with 2 million naira. Federal government spends 5 billion naira mostly on IDPs, says Senate panel. Federal government to reposition economy with 2.3 trillion naira, says additional. We will not compromise struggle for Biafra, Masob. You need good character to succeed, Tinubu tells Oniru. Resident doctors begin strike today. Water project, fulfillment of electoral promises. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning. Group vows to reclaim right of Lagos indigents. Successive governments lacked courage to remove fuel subsidies, says presidency. Passengers burned to death in Anambra accident. You need character to succeed, Tinubu tells Oniru. And finally, Naira reign at Buhari's daughter's wedding sparks debate. They have the Punch newspaper this morning. And moving over to the Vanguard newspaper, checking out some of the headlines. War on terror. Probe indicts Nigerian soldiers for execution of civilians. Abia government denies banning commercial tricycle operators. Politics over time to deliver governance. Bello promises Kogiites. Police arrest 2 over alleged 14.7 million naira fraud against Germany Koi. Security men repel bandits on Kaduna Abuja Road. ASU once again school reopening without adherence to COVID-19 protocol. COVID-19, Adeboye reassures victory over pandemic. EFCC nabbed 3 land scammers, internet fraudsters in Akwa Ibom. PNID saga, UK court ruling, victory for Magu and Shitu. FCT minister urges FRSC to address traffic congestion in Lugbe. And on business, stakeholders adopt 12-point agenda on humanitarian interventions in Northeast. Subsidy removal, past governments lacked courage to take action, says presidency. Kama 2020 controversy must be resolved. Imo APC suspends Daniel Nwapo. Oshomole, best governor Edo has ever had. Cross River senatorial by-election, I am the authentic winner, Jaribe insists. Nigeria can't subsidize fuel any longer, Senator Yusuf. Plateau, Senator Gyang commends PDP on free, fair senatorial primaries. Defection looms in Abia PDP over marginalization. Bayelsa senatorial by-election, PDP fielding best candidate, says Diri. Contempt of courts, confusion hits Imo PDP over primary. Nigerians paying for darkness, electricity workers. And on sports, Osimhen bangs another hat trick, expects fruitful Serie A outing. And UEFA Nations League, COVID-19 confusion hits Scotland and Croatia tie. Inappropriate joke sends Thor out of Old Trafford match. And still on sports, Djokovic to lose ranking points, prize money after US Open disqualification. Let's move away from sports and let's look at some of the entertainment headlines we have here on the Vanguard. BB Niger, after disqualification, fans raise over $9,000 for Erica, targets $100,000. Okay. Away from that, the post-coronavirus global economy and international order. And finally on the Vanguard, Abiose Ahmed Foundation, Leo FX trading work for less privileged. All right, there you have it on the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
Okay, so that's it from the Vanguard. And from the Vanguard, we cross over to Business Day. All right, what does Business Day have for us? This one says, updated No pain, no gain. Why ending subsidies is right way for Nigeria. Addison says lack of stakeholder cooperation. Okay, let's go on. Lack of stakeholder coordination in proper value chain integration. Insurers see rise in claims as businesses face high credit default. Okay, and this one says declaration of 2020 year of gas evidence shows it is truly underway. Okay, and Jenkos gets fresh dose of 85 billion naira from bulk buyer NBET. COVID-19 tests, bumper harvest for medical labs to rake in about 742 million naira. Like I said, whenever other people are suffering, there is still going to be a group of people who are profiting, no matter what's going on. Mixed sentiment to trail Nigeria stocks this week. Military says security agencies on red alert over possible terrorist attacks. Edo 2020 don't subvert the wheel of electorate. PDP tells INEC. Boko Haram threats. Police beef up security in FCT. Strike. War songs intensify as Rivers government. Labour insist on showdown. Single currency, COVID-19, security, top agenda as ECOWAS leaders meet. New, okay, and this one says Okomu to add 1,250 new jobs with smallholder farmer scheme on. Okay, Enugu SME Center records milestones as hackathon series discovers what? Well, read up on, of course, read up on the business day to find out more. This one says Premier League face £1 billion revenue shortfall due to coronavirus. Okay, and driving new initiatives for increased liquidity in the mortgage market. And that's it from the business day this morning. And from there we cross over to The Guardian. The Guardian leads us with the headline: $2 billion backlog worries operators as BDCs resume. Okay, with riders, multiple forex rates persist, and sanctioned firms sold dollars to importers of 42 banned items, says APCON. Local manufacturers and other members of the private sector in need of foreign exchange. Addison says revving up diversification to overcome post-COVID-19 challenges. Opposition mounts against reintroduced National Water Resources Bill. Marketers urge full deregulation of downstream oil sector. Akin Rinade advocates community-driven security system. Sanwo-Olu, Tinubu urge new Oniru to ensure unity, peace in Iruland. Oshinbajo others okay journalist coverage of virtual court hearings. Okay, and this one says, okay, and ministry gives conditions for NPFL kickoff. That's on the sports side. Motorsports adds spark to Ilara Mocking Festival. Anthony Joshua denies alleged affair with Mahrez's wife. LCFC officially becomes Cynic's partner on home appliance. LCFC, of course, is Leicester City Football Club. An editorial here, spending 120 billion naira annually on idle refineries. How to curb abuse of antibiotics in animal production. Okay. And still on The Guardian, Erica Nlewedim disqualified from BB Ninja for multiple house rules violation. Okay. And man sells 28 years of birthday whiskey to buy his first home. Okay, he was saving the whiskey every day for 28 years. On the political side, the Create the Lose campaign kicks off in Akure as Tinubu explains role in crisis. PDP urges security beef up ahead of Edo poll as Group 6 probe of Shomole's convoy crash. And of course, that's it from The Guardian this morning.
Alright, and we move over to the Daily Times newspaper this morning to check out some of the headlines that it has for us. In the first one, it says COVID-19 response cost 30 billion naira in 4 months. Federal government says NARD experts raise concerns over doctors' indefinite strike. That is a National Association of Resident Doctors. Hong Kong police announced dozens at protest over delayed election. Federal government will spend 2.3 trillion naira to revive the economy, says Additional. NNPC obtains $1 billion to support NPDC upstream operation. Rina Mokri blames Nigerian youth for the fuel price hike. The economy will recover by January 2021, says Minister. NSE ends on a bullish trend amid equities depreciation. That's in business. Tell us how 30 billion naira was spent on COVID-19 in 4 months. CSO to federal government. Under 2020, Tinubu is a daydreamer. PDP. Turkey begins military exercises in northern Cyprus. Yahaya Toure misses soccer aid charity game over inappropriate joke. Transfer rumor. That's it. Check it out in Punch. I beg your pardon, on Daily Times newspaper, NBC, and Freedom of Expression. That's an editorial too. Check it out. Tackling menace of fraudulent housing agents in Lagos State. Consider COVID-19 before reopening schools. ASU warns. 2023 LFI support for South unbelievable. Abaribe gives reasons. The reason behind the establishment of Amotekun, Tinubu, Edo 2020 traditional rulers endorsed Governor Obaseki. Former Governor Dixon emerges PDP candidate for Bayelsa West. Pure hike, Nigeria has become poverty capital of the world. Bangoshe, victory in UK courts, a huge relief, says Lai Mohammed. Fresh twist in Nigeria-Ghana war as Gbajabiamila mediates. Southern Kaduna crisis over. Miyetti Allah declares. NAPTIP parades 4 over sale of baby for 1.5 million naira. How Africa can manufacture to meet its pharmaceutical needs. Editorial, Lagos and the coming rains. Fate of private universities. That's another editorial. And finally, 7 players who fell off the radar after making promising starts to their careers. Check it out. It's on the Daily Times newspaper this morning. And then we move over to check out the Nation's newspaper and some of the headlines before we go. Miami, Nigeria didn't make $200 million cash deposit on PNID. Federal government spends 30.5 billion naira to fight COVID-19 in 4 months. Kwara and a bank partner on health insurance. Ngige's kingsmen insist on monarch suspension. Undergraduate 47 kids rescued from Oshun baby factory. Teacher molests 7-year-old in toilets. Nigeria records 100 new COVID-19 cases. Total now 55,005. Tinubu hails selection of worthy Onirus. Protesters defy heavy security in Belarus. Police hunts for man in UK after 1 death, 7 injured in stabbings. Pope Francis, gossip is worse plague than COVID. We will defeat APC at election. PDP chieftain predicts party's failure. Suspected PDP thugs tear APC's banner. I would defeat Oshomala in his ward. Find out who is saying that. And finally, as we wrap up on today's edition of the newspaper review, Lagos reopens 2 recreational parks. And there you have it on Daily Times and the Nation's newspaper.
All right, and that's how we call it a day on today's edition of the newspaper headline review. Remember, you can send in your reactions either via SMS to 0807400 9076 or via WhatsApp to 0812-178-9154. Coming up next to Sports Fiesta. My name is Charles Obman.
I'm Robert Lovalando. Good morning.
The first daughter of Professor Ambrose Ali. Some of my father's policies, I am seeing it in Pastor Ide Yamu. In his simple agenda, like empowering people. My father was there, and he also wants to carry it out. That the pastor for women, my father was there, and he said, "Yeah, we also want to carry it out in his simple agenda." Before his people conducted this simple agenda, he was a UPM youth guy, and he knows what he said, which he is going to carry out in his simple agenda. You will see when he's in the office, all women in Edo State to come out, they should come out, so that they can have the benefits of governance.
We have said it before.
We will still say it again.
Beware of human traffickers and smugglers who encourage irregular migration.
Beware of offers of jobs in Europe.
Beware of stories of getting rich quick once in Europe.
Beware of stories of opportunities to become international model, football star, actor, actress, or singer in Europe.
Note, there is no easy way to making it big except crime.
And if you are caught, you will go in for it.
Europe is no Eldorado.
Nobody picks money on the street. If you must travel,
do it the right way.
Say no to desert travel.
Say no to crossing the sea to Europe.
Don't be deceived.
Many have died in the desert desert, sea, or even prison.
Say no to human trafficking. Say no to irregular migration.
This message is brought to you by Action Aid, Vidas and Salesians of Don Bosco, Nigeria.
92.7 KUFM.
Girl, I know good lie. It's your body cause of a baby lie. And if you ask me, girl, I don't know why. But it's our love that I don't die. But they for life, oh no. Oh, this is a good love. I spend all my money on. I could take you to your kill. Anything you want to do. This is a good deal. I spend all my money on. I could take you to your kill. Anything you want to do. Girl, you fine, you're fine, you're fine, God. I know you waiting to talk. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine, God. I know you waiting to talk. I don't know how to express it. I don't see many things when I walk across past through the eyes. I still wanna see now your face and then you look so high. I don't need to carry on my cassette tonight. I love you.
92.7 KUFM.
There's no word as exciting as sport. Do you know why? Because it is not predictable. You think you know it. You think you've analyzed it. You think you've done all your prediction. You think you've read it all and you know exactly what you're saying. On game days, on race days, on fight days, things that you least expected, you just come up, and someone that you never anticipated to go out there to do something fantastic will just go out there and do something great. It could be great in stupidity somehow. It could be great in something, that you do and, become big thing in the future. Yes, that's what actually happened in this excruciating, breathtaking weekend. From Formula One to tennis to basketball to football, it was a weekend to behold. I mean, everything came as a surprise to us. Was it what happened with Giannis Antetokounmpo, with Milwaukee Bucks, with him at injury? You think this is it for them, but they threw themselves a bone. So they have a lifeline. They are still in the playoffs. Let's see if they can muster their way back to beating the Miami Heat and get to qualify for the next round. Then you look at Djokovic. He's on 17 Grand Slams thereabouts, and none of those big guys are in it. Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, 2019 respectively. Yes, this was supposed to be one of those competitions he could have been able to close the gap, because he said he wants to surpass what Rogers at least have done this time. Then something happened mistakenly and he's out of the US Open. He gets to lose. That is what we want to see. That is the kind of news we want to read. But he gets disqualified for something. It is the rule. It has to go on. And then you go to Monza in the Italian Grand Prix. I mean, Lewis Hamilton on the way, yeah? But you look at the 1, 2, 3. None of those names we've ever mentioned on this program has won a Grand Prix. Or talking about winning the Champions League, has won a Grand Prix in this present dispensation. That's why I love this game. That's why I love this word, sport. Good morning. morning, and welcome to yet another exciting edition of your favorite sports show on radio. Remember, it is Sport Fiesta live on R2.7 KUFM down here in Benin City. I'm the sports Berlusconi Sanofi Francis, the Ibrakadabra, Sports Salim Ibrahim, and the sports maestro are here with me on the show this lovely Monday morning. We're going to go straight to the United States of America. We're going to talk about football much later on the show, but let's talk about the happenings right now as far as other sports is concerned. Let's talk about tennis. Let's go straight to Djokovic's situation. What happened yesterday? He has apologized profusely, and we should forgive him. But don't always allow your emotions cloud your judgment. Mistakenly, he did something, and it has to end his U.S. Open game yesterday. He was officially disqualified. Ibrahim, let me start with you. Were you surprised?
Yeah, really surprised because Novak Djokovic, he was, because it's out now, he was the favorite going into the tournament. And look, even if Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal had been there, he still had a very good chance of winning the tournament. He has not lost a singles match this year, but now he has by default, which is really disappointing. I saw the incident and I thought it was really, really unlucky on his part, because the ball could have gone anywhere, but you don't do that in tennis. Look, earlier, even before that particular incident, which some are saying they should have called a warning on him. If they had warned him at that point, then it would have he would have been a bit more conscious of what he was doing. But no excuses. You are not even, you are a professional. Nobody is even supposed to give you a warning before you know that you are supposed to behave with courtesy on the court, even if you are losing. And imagine, he was even playing well. His opponent had just taken a 6-5 lead. That's when he got frustrated, because he was frustrated that he started well, but Karina Buster caught up with him, and that's what got him angry. So what he did earlier, he did the same thing that hit the lineswoman, but this time he was lucky that he struck an advertising board. But even that is not accepted. You are supposed to, you should have got a warning at that point, but the umpire maybe didn't see it, or they just ignored it. They didn't warn him, and now he did the second one. Let's be very clear about this. He did not intentionally take the ball and hit at the lineswoman. He was just disappointed that he lost the point, and he just hit it. The thing was that as the time he hit the ball, he wasn't looking, but I don't know, maybe the moment the ball left his racket, his instinct just told him what way this ball is going, and he just went straight to the throat of the lineswoman. Well, maybe she overreacted a bit, but it doesn't matter whether she reacted or not. The rule says when you do something like that, you get disqualified. They will call a default on you, and you will be disqualified. Not just from that. Well, normally when you lose a match, except if the rules are different. There are some tennis tournaments where you will be in a group where they play the round robin. You could lose the game and still have another chance. Yes, they do that usually in the seasons endings competitions that they play. But normally when you lose a tennis game, when you lose a tennis match, you could lose a game and still win the match. When you lose a tennis match, you are out of the tournament. But the unfortunate thing now for Novak Djokovic is that the notoriety that this will bring with it. He didn't just lose the match, he's going to lose the prize money. Whatever money he was supposed to get for getting into the round of 16, he's not going to get anything now from this. He gets maybe this is not even the last that we'll see of this incident. Look, yesterday, was it yesterday? No, on Saturday when we're talking about Djokovic and the rivalry between him, Nadal and Federer, I was like, look, I think the frustration that people love Federer and Nadal more than him, it's beginning to get under his skin. He's somebody who's very playful. They call him the Joker. He's a very nice person, a very likable person, but unfortunately, whenever you have a tournament and he meets Nadal or Federer, the fans almost always support the opponent more than him. So when he beats those guys, he's so in your face. So yes, take that. Especially he did it at last year's Wimbledon when he beat Roger. Was it last year? I'm confused now with this COVID-19 stuff.
But
when he beat Roger Federer in the final of Wimbledon, Federer was just 1 point away, but he somehow missed it. And after he got that point, and it was deuce, and he went on to win and then won the tiebreak, he was so in your face. And even in the past, he says things like, "Well, I know it's not." He said, was it in 2012 at Wimbledon? He beat Federer. He beat Federer the last 3 times they've met at Wimbledon, and he said at one time that, "Well, I know you didn't. The person that you wanted to win the competition did not win, but it is like that. So I apologize. For look, you're not even supposed to say things like that anyway. So maybe unconsciously that frustration, even though these guys are not there, perhaps it is getting to him without him realizing it. But I am really disappointed that he allowed it get under his skin. That is the point that he lost, get under his skin so much. Because we've seen Novak Djokovic lose a set and come back to win. So there was really nothing that, it wasn't like he was 2 sets and 5 games down in the third set, and you know that, okay, if he doesn't win the next game, he was out of the tournament. It was the first set that they were still playing, and yet you were trailing, but it didn't mean that you should react the way he did. Unfortunately, the rules are the rules. When you hit a line woman, or even if it were a ball boy or anything, if you injure anybody or you strike at anybody, it is going to be a disqualification. It happened, I can't quite recall the year now, but David Nalbandian played against Marin Cilic. It was in the final of the Aegon Classics. Nalbandian was even leading at the point that this incident happened. He was frustrated for losing a point, and he just, without looking, he lashed out and kicked at an advertising board that was on the ground. He kicked it, but he didn't realize that one of the officials was seated very close to the advertising board, and the board just struck the man on the shoulder, and you could tell from the way the guy screamed and jumped that he had injured him. When he took up his trousers, you could see that there was blood on his shin, and Nalbandian, of course, was disqualified, and of course the money that he was supposed to get, he didn't get. He was even banned for some time, and not long after that, Nalbandian retired from tennis. So that was the last time I saw something like we now saw yesterday involving Novak Djokovic. Really disappointed, but the good thing is, hey, somebody is going to win his first Grand Slam. Is there anybody who has won the Grand Slam? No, a new name. Anybody? Yeah. Marin Cilic was there before, but I think he was beaten. Yeah, Marin Cilic had been beaten, because Cilic is the last guy out of the top 3, the big 3 in tennis, who has won a Grand Slam. That was in 2014.
You could say this is very time to win it.
My money would be on Dominic Thiem. Yeah.
Boy.
My money will be on Dominic Thiem, because he's the one that I've seen who could go toe to toe with these big guys. Yes, even at the Australian the US Open was this year. Yeah, it's looking like last year. This 2020, and the Australian Open this year, we saw the fight that he gave Novak Djokovic. Djokovic went on to win it. Yeah, so my money will be on Dominic Thiem to win it. But of course, if Zverev win, well, but Zverev has disappointed me several times. He's somebody that on this day is unplayable, but other times is frustrating. I think Thiem is a bit more consistent, so I will be backing Thiem to go on to win this.
Well, so disappointing that Novak Djokovic, who could have won this and level things up with Rafael Nadal, but that's still getting he would have been on 18. They one short of Rafael Nadal. I think he has apologized though, but sometimes it's not really nice for one to allow his emotions to really affect his performance. Really disappointing. If he had been on maybe 2 sets down, it's quite different. But this is 6-5. We're trailing, and he could have won that set and gone to win in straight sets. Yes, it wasn't something we expected, but then I think Djokovic will learn from this. Having missed this huge opportunity, this is somebody who has not lost any game since this year started, and he was in fine form going into the game. And now that he was disqualified, even the opponent, Pablo Canabosta, was really shocked, to hear that was the decision taken. And at the end of the day, this is a plus for him. So he could go on to get to win the tournament or gets to play in the final. Because if that game had continued yesterday, it could have been the end of the journey for Canabosta. So having this opportunity right now to move forward to the quarterfinals, he could win 2 games and be facing the single set title at the end of the day. But then it's tennis, anything can happen, and we learn every day from different incidents and all that. So for me, Djokovic, I'm disappointed at what he did, though he has already apologized, and nobody will be going home with him with what has happened. I'm sure that next time, no matter how disappointed he is, when the game is going on, I don't think this will ever happen.
He's not going to lose all ranking points. Yes, it's world number 1, and no matches between for now. But Nadal was number 2. If he starts playing, could get points to catch and even overtake him. And with what is happening, I don't know whether it will play on his mind, although he is a big boy in tennis. So I believe that he will quickly put this behind him and carry on with his life. But it is really, really disappointing that he is living the way he did. This is perhaps the only thing that might be bigger, the only news that might be bigger than somebody beating Novak Djokovic will be Novak Djokovic being disqualified. It's not what you want, but it makes huge reading. I mean, it's exciting reading this. You want to know what happened. Why will Novak Djokovic be disqualified? Is there a plot against him and all of that? But come on, the rules are the rules. And the rule states that when you intentionally hit a ball dangerously or recklessly within the court area and with negligent disregard of the consequences, then you are going to be defaulted, which means that you will be disqualified. And that's exactly what he did. He did not intend to hit the line through.
Obviously, that has to be stated.
He hit the ball dangerously without regard for the consequences. So it means that at all times, when you are hitting the ball, even though you do not intend to hit anybody, you must ensure that when you are hitting the ball towards, there is nobody there. And besides, you're not supposed to hit the ball without clear direction in that tournament area. You could, if you want to entertain fans by how well you can smash the ball, go out of the court and do that, when you are not playing a match. So unfortunately for him, it happened, and he's out. And earlier I said that I think it was because we were just talking too much. I made a mistake in it. It will be the first, a new male player winning it, and it's not going to be the first person outside of the big three, because I think Andy Murray and what's this other guy's name? Stan Wawrinka. There was Stan Wawrinka won in
so I think you were talking about the president.
The president
10 years. I mean, this guy
have not won. So we are going to have a new somebody winning his first Grand Slam since 2014.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's somebody will win. But if it is among the top 3, somebody else had won it after them since 2014, and of course Stan Wawrinka won it in 2016.
All right. Okay, let's just go for this quick commercial. We'll come back. We'll just take a look at the result of tennis, then stay in the United States and talk about all the sport that happened in the United States before we move on to another continent. We'll be right back.
I'm tired of the poor power situation. Every time I stock the fridge, I come back to spoiled food.
My dear, I am tired too.
I think it's about time to go solar.
Go solar?
With Vertical Solar, you can go solar for as low as 36,000 naira monthly by paying installments of up to 12 months.
Really?
Vertical Solar range of products can power household devices such as televisions, fridges, air conditioners, microwave, water pumps, electric iron, washing machine, and lots more. With extensive pay in installment plans up to 12 months with 10 years warranty.
Wow, what are the benefits of solar energy?
We are talking uninterrupted power supply, no monthly electricity bill, zero noise and smoke emission, and reduced generator maintenance cost.
Where is Vertical Solar located?
Number 28, Country Home Hotel Road, off Ajib Junction, Sapele Road, Benin City. You can call them on 0816 170 1105 or 0703 623 4843. You can also send them an email on info@verticalsolar.com.ng.
Vertical Solar, your lifetime power partners.
My name is Osawe Favor. I'm from Uwunde. My parents live here. My dad is a teacher. My mom going to trade. When I wrote my exam, so I wanted to go back to the city. Then my dad saw this project and I said that I should give it a try. You may never can tell what I may bring out of it. So I came into this place. Then for the past 2 months now, we're learning how to make shoes, sandals, different types of shoes. Then I can boldly say that for the past 3 months now, we have actually learned a lot. So my advice to my colleagues and to my parents, moms and dads, don't let your children stay at home seeing that they are doing nothing. I'm learning this job for free. As you can see, this pair of shoes I'm wearing, I'm actually the one that did it myself. I'm saying a very big thank you to Governor Obaseki and Edo Job for making this a reality for us.
Vote Governor Obaseki, vote PDP.
Plenty there to win for the 9 Mobile Mega Millions promo. 90 people go hammer 1 million naira every day for 90 days. 2 people go win smartphones every hour, every day. The one wasting pass, now the 10 million naira grand prize. If you not be 9 Mobile customer, move from our side or buy a new line. In addition to the 20 millions and smartphones, we go summer you with 1 gigabyte plus 500 naira airtime instant plus up to 100% data bonus for 1 year. Recharge 200 naira and above. Make you for the win. Promo starts August 10 and ends November 2020 and is approved by FCCPC.
9 Mobile.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us on the show. Now, quickly, let's take a look at the result of the tennis games that went down Saturday, Sunday, and of course, early hours of today.
Okay, in the men's singles round of 16, Denis Shapovalov defeated the Goffin 6-7, 6-3, 6-4, 6-3 to progress. Elsewhere, we had Bonachorich who knocked out Jonathan Thompson 7-5, 6-1, 6-3 to advance. Davidovich Fokina took on Alexander Zverev, and the German won in straight sets 6-2, 6-2, 6-1, while Marin Cilic was beaten by Dominic Thiem in 4 sets 6-2, 6-2, 3-6, 6-3. On Saturday, Martin Foster. Let's just move over to the round of 16 and to the quarterfinals. Okay, today we'll be having matches for the men's singles where as a Popis Seal will take on Alex Di Mano, and whoever wins that game will go to the quarterfinals. Then Felix Auger and Esime, who knocked out and Murray in straight sets, will take on Dominic Thiem, while Matteo Berrettini, the Italian, will take on Andre Rublev. These are the remaining matches of the last 16. Whoever gets to win will join the others in the quarterfinals.
Fantastic.
Okay. Yeah.
So the women's single now, of course, Naomi Osaka still very much in it. She's through to the next stage. She won a game in straight set. I mean, yes, my favorite is there. Talking about Serena Williams, but you need to look at the form she is right now, Naomi Osaka, and you say you find the meets in the final. Hopefully, that what happened a couple of years ago won't happen again. But the big one, Serena Williams, she will be playing later about 5 p.m. against Maria Sakkari, Nigerian time, 5 p.m. So hopefully she gets to win, and Victoria Azarenka also will be playing as well. So that's what is going on as far as the U.S. Open is concerned, as far as tennis is also concerned. And let's move to Florida, where the basketball playoffs is going on right now. We were talking about how Miami Heat have gone 3-0 up against Milwaukee Bucks, and Ibrahim, you were analyzing it and talking about you've never really seen anybody coming from 3-0 down.
Yeah, because it has never happened.
You know, to win the series. But again, probably this could be a comeback. Now, that's why I use the word comeback. But the interesting thing is, even without their MVP, the main guy in the team, Giannis Antetokounmpo, they were able to muster out a victory last night. Now, it begs the question, if they could have done what they did last night, why didn't they do it all the games to be playing? It's not,
it's not like Giannis did not play at all. He played, but not injured. Yeah, they were talking about the ankle injury that he has been suffering from, but he had a collision with Miami Heat's Andre Iguodala, and of course it was a case of 2 Nigerian giants colliding. That is Andre Iguodala. So he got injured, and they had to take him out. But before he left, he had done some great stuff for them. I think how many points did he drop? yesterday. But he had averaged like 27.6 points every game that he had played for them. So they had to, the rest of his team, knowing that their star fraction is injured and had been taken up, they had to battle back, and they won in overtime 118 to 115. I think what they have done is to postpone the Doomsday, which is really good. It's something that you want to see. You don't want to see a blowout, but you I don't know, anything can happen. Or anything can, look, if they go on to win the next game, then you will say, okay, is the comeback really on? But I think even they will realize that, look, we dug ourselves into such a deep hole. So if it had been maybe 2-1, this was the game 3 and they won, and then you'll have said, okay, but this is all Miami Heat need now is to win one more game. So what it means is that Miami Heat can even relax,
lose this game,
not play at their best, conserve their strength, and maybe lose the next game. Even lose the game after that, and it becomes 3-3. Then they will play with their full strength and everything in game 7 and go on to win. I'm not saying they are going to do that, but even if they have the opportunity now of losing 2 matches and still winning, so I think everything is in their favor, and that's why it is really, really difficult for a team to come from 3-0 down. It has never happened, but as we've said several times, records are there to be broken, records are there to be made. So maybe Miami Heat will be able to do it. We do not know if Giannis will be able to play the next game, and if he doesn't play, it's going to be a huge problem for them. But nevertheless, they had other guys who were able to step up for Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo, another Nigerian, got 26 points, 12 rebounds, and how many assists now? 8 assists. Then for Milwaukee Bucks, it was Chris Middleton who got 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Okay, LA Lakers, they came back again. They just had to come back again. Since the playoffs has been the story for them, they lose their first game and come back when these two great combine to do some great stuff on the court. LeBron James and as well as Anthony Davis.
Fantastic for them. LeBron James was their top performer, got 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. I think Anthony Davis got 34 points, but LeBron James' all-round contribution was better. James Harden for the Rockets got 27 points, 2 rebounds, and 7 assists. But the LA Lakers had to just win this game, and they did it 117 points to 109. LeBron James said after, because everybody was expecting you had rested. I think they had about 6 or 7 days rest before they played against Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets needed 7 games to get to the semi-finals, and they thought, okay, it was going to be easy for LA Lakers. But LeBron James said they were caught unawares by the speed. I don't know, because they played the Houston Rockets before, so I don't understand what happened. It's not like this was the first time ever that they were meeting them. That they were caught out by the speed of the Rockets, and it just completely destabilized them. That having seen that, although they lost, they now know how to play them in the next game, and which, if you look at the results now, you say, okay, they had a much better performance and won, and the series is now tied at 1-1. So we'll have to wait and see what will happen in the next game. Will the Houston Rockets now change their speed again, or do something that will confuse the Lakers? We'll have to wait and see. But I think the thing now that you can really take out of all this is, yes, it is good to do well in the regular season, but sometimes your form in the regular season does not count for much when you get to the playoff. Playoff is a whole different ball game. So it's like in football, when you are in your group, you could play and do all sort of things. But once you get to the knockout stages, then it becomes something else. The luck that even these guys that won that topped their conferences, the Eastern and the Western, Milwaukee Bucks and LA Lakers. The luck that they have is that basketball is not the way they play knockout in football, where it is just one game and you are out, or if it is a case of home and away stuff. But this time you still have 7 games to see what you can do. It's best the first to get to 4 that win. So if not, if it were knock out one game, then it will mean that both the LA Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks will have been out of the competition because they both lost their first games in the first round, and then even in the semi-final they both still lost their first game. But they are both still in it, which is good. They are both still there. Let's see what they will be able to do. So later tonight we are going to have
interesting one.
Yeah, Boston Celtics taking on the Toronto Raptors, and this game is really interesting. The series. I think Boston Celtics took a 2-0 lead, and now Toronto Raptors, the defending champions, they are back. But as we've said, being 2-0 down and coming to win, it's rare, but it has happened in the past. Not very many times, but it has happened. Now they are back at 2-2. Let's see if they will join the few teams that have gone on to win a game after going a 2-0 down. But I think they are showing champions stuff. Kawhi Leonard left the Toronto Raptors, but they did not just capitulate. You look at other teams. Look at Cleveland Cavaliers. Since LeBron James left them, I mean, they have just been nowhere. You look at LA Lakers. Before LeBron James, they were not even making the playoffs. But look at the fear. His first season wasn't that great, but I mean, you know, that's the transitional season. But now look at what they are doing. They are still in with a very good chance of winning the NBA. So it's fantastic. LA Clippers will be taking on Denver Nuggets. That game is tied at 1-1. So it's just fantastic stuff.
So it's only Milwaukee Bucks that seem like
it's only Milwaukee.
The next game, which is tomorrow by 12:30.
They have to win. They have to win.
The rest is still more interesting.
Still getting excited.
Wow. Okay, that's what is going on right now as far as basketball is concerned. Now let's leave the United States. Let's go to Italy and talk about the Italian Grand Prix. See, I have made predictions before as far as Formula One is concerned. For the first time since I came into the game professionally, I was just looking at my television set and I was just like, is this like a dream? Am I dreaming? Should I wake up? No Lewis Hamilton, obviously. We're not talking about the Ferrari drivers. No Valtteri Bottas, no Max Verstappen. The names that I know, Ricardo, they didn't get there. But Lewis Hamilton, like he said Gasly deserved to have been the champion, and it got it. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, it was the first win for Gasly, and really congratulate him, because we look at the pedigree of all the drivers. One would feel okay. If Gasly were to finish yesterday, it would have been maybe 10th or 11th position, but here he is, and it was one of the most remarkable races in history, because if you look at the first three, you know, nobody, you know, would ever predicted that these three guys will make the podium. Any of them would join the big guys to make the podium, but that is what you get in life sometimes. So that's why sometimes life is not balanced, and sometimes when you have the opportunity to take your chance, you just grab it, and that could be your only victory in your career.
Stop it, sorry. That
is not fair. It's not fair, rather. But then I think this will only increase Gasly's confidence going into the next race, even if he fails to win any other races. But winning yesterday, even at the home ground of Ferrari, where you think, okay, we know Ferrari has been poor, but at least looking at Charles Leclerc, he could have also tried to, you know, better his performances, because it was their home race. But Ferrari, they've already given up this season. Maybe next season we'll see what they'll come up with. But then I thought Mercedes that dominated the practice, the first, second,
and the penalties, but seventh time.
It was 7th, but he got a 10 second penalty, stop start penalty, which means they said he entered the
pit when it was closed.
Yes, without when it was not the right time to do that, and so they gave him a 10-second penalty. 10 seconds in Formula One is huge. It's very massive.
Like
if you have a 1 second, you can win the race. You can win a race with even less of a second. Sometimes you hear a 100th of a second, the 1/10 of a second, and all of that. So 1 second is very, very, very huge. Don't talk of 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. If you have to wait for 10 seconds before you join the race, at the time he was allowed to join the race, he was 20th, he was last. So he had to work his way up, and then if not that he has a superior car, he will maybe probably have finished in
15 thereabouts.
Yeah, but he eventually finished 7th and he got 7 points. And when you consider that Charles Leclerc, who you will say, okay, maybe he has a very good chance of competing with Lewis Hamilton, he crashed out, did not get a single point. Max Verstappen, the same thing happened, did not get a point. Sebastian Vettel, he was even last, did not get a point. And Valtteri Bottas, who is the teammate of Lewis Hamilton, even at the start, at the beginning of the race, he was second on the grid. Lewis Hamilton started very well. He got it. I just don't know what happened with him, why he made that mistake. But for Valtteri Bottas, he didn't even start very well. From second, he was 6th before the first turning. So it was a problem for him. He battled back and finished 5th, and he got 10 points. So he gained just 3 points on Lewis Hamilton, which really is nothing. The guy that Lewis Hamilton would have, been wary of, maybe because he didn't do particularly well, finishing 7th and getting only 7 points, would have been Max Verstappen. But Max Verstappen did not get a single point. So Lewis Hamilton ended up gaining 7 points on Max Verstappen. Lewis Hamilton is now on 164 points. Max Verstappen is on 110 points in third. Second is Valtteri Bottas on 117. The rest, the closest to any of them is Lance Stroll of Racing Point, who is on 57 points. So much as you want to really look at it and say, okay, I think this is Lewis Hamilton's championship, you just feel that he is going to go on and win this one.
Okay, we'll talk about more good news from Mercedes after this quick one.
Looking for a house or an office or a nice place to live in peace and comfort in Edo State? Look no further. At Orange Woods Limited, we go the extra mile to create beautiful homes and provide housing solutions just for you. We develop, we manage, we sell, rent, and lease properties. We also pride ourselves in offering high-quality security and solar equipment and services that meets your budget. We develop apps and software for your business. We also have a delivery service that can help you deliver anything within Benin City. So, give us a try today and you'll be glad you did. Orange Woods Limited is located at number 32 Akiobari Street off Ihama Road, GRA, Benin City. Call 0903-889-5858. Orange Woods Limited. Real estate, technology, logistics.
Alright, thank you so much for staying with us. So, like we just told you, the Mercedes driver made the podium. But the good news coming from the weekend trade was Total Group confirming that he will still be with them at least for next season. We're looking at him for some time, and the contract issue between him and Mercedes. Finally, he has put pen to paper for at least for another season. We don't know about the year 2022, but what we know, the year 2021, he's going to be right in there. Total Wolf is staying around. Maybe this one will not prepare Luis to sign as well.
Yeah, not really contract issues. He's just saying, I don't tire, and I need to be with my family. His wife also runs a Formula E team, and he is in one part of the world, she's also in another part of the world. So maybe he just feels that it's taking a toll on his family, and he wants to really sort out his family life. And the most important thing in life is really your family, because that is the basic unit of the society. It starts from there. If the family unit is not strong, then what do you have? You won't even have a society. So it's very, very important that he takes care of the home front, and no matter how much he's earning, except I don't know, I think they've made, both of them, they've made enough money to say, okay, one person can quit if it's going to be affecting their family life. But as we have analyzed, usually they don't have it in the same cities. Where Formula One could be in Bahrain, and you have Formula E, a race might be taking place in England. So you are in two different continents almost every week, except maybe when there are no races, which it's not almost every time, so that's the only time that they get to spend together. So these traveling, being apart is taking a toll, and that's why Toto Wolff is saying I might have to leave. But he says that Lewis Hamilton doesn't need him to win championship, so he doesn't think that whatever decision he takes should affect Lewis Hamilton. But sometimes it does. You join a club because of the manager, though we've advised that do not do that because the manager could leave at any time. But you, a player, you signed for 5 years, you have got to see out your contract, otherwise you could have some issues later. So it's good that he has decided to stay, but he's not committing his long-term future to Mercedes just yet. So we'll wait to see what Lewis Hamilton will do.
Okay, let's go to football now finally. Let's take a look at results from games played yesterday as far as the UEFA Nations League is concerned. A 95-year record broken by Ansu Fati. Maybe he's the next Lionel Messi for Barcelona. He scored a goal yesterday, I think age 17, 18 now, and that's the first time in a long time for Spain.
Yeah, he's 17 years, 311 days, and he broke a 95-year-old record, which was really, really fantastic for the Guinea-Bissau born forward. Well, it was a good one for him. Last time out, he started from the bench, but yesterday he started the match, and it was his first start. That game ended 4-0. Sergio Ramos over Ukraine.
For Manchester City fans who called and was asking about Ferran Torres, who signed for them recently. I guess they saw him last night. He also got on the score sheet, right?
Yeah. Okay. It's got the fourth goal. Then Sergio Ramos scored twice. They defeated Ukraine 4-0, and that was in League A Group 4. Then the other match was between Switzerland and Germany. Remember, Germany drew Spain in their first game, and yesterday also ended 1-1. So that left Germany in the 10th place, while Ukraine are in second place. Then Switzerland bottom place. Then you look at the League B Group 3, where you have Hungary who took on Russia. And Russia, they won their first two matches since they are going to be having a fantastic record in this tournament. 3-2, they won that game away from home, while Serbia drew goalless with Turkey. Then we'll go to League B Group 4. Wales defeated Bulgaria 1-0. That goal came in the 95th minute. And Iceland at home, they were beaten by Timo Pukki's led Finland 1-0. We'll go to League C Group 3. Slovenia defeated Moldova 1-0. Then Kosovo were beaten at home 2-1 by visiting Greece. Where we take a look at Group 1 League D. Andorra lost 1-0 to Faroe Islands, while Malta and Latvia settled for a 1-1 draw. These are the matches that we played yesterday. But we've got some matches lined up for today, and quickly let me go to that.
Alright, in League A Group 1, Bosnia and Herzegovina will play against Poland, and then same group Netherlands will play against Italy. Then in League B Group 1, Austria against Romania, Northern Ireland against Norway. Then in League B Group 2, Czech Republic against Scotland, Israel against Slovakia. Then in League C Group 4, Kazakhstan will be home against Belarus, Albania against Lithuania. Those are the games we're expecting this night, tonight, so far as the UEFA Nations League is concerned. Still with football, there's this thing going on right now, guys, that Kai Havertz has tested positive for the virus that is in the head of their opponent. That since Chelsea, I know guys were scared that I'm talking about coronavirus. No, it's not part of coronavirus. That since he signed for Chelsea, the rivals, especially who they get to play on the 14th of September, which is a Monday next week, that they are not scared of Chelsea. So that virus, the other football clubs have tested positive of it. But these virus that could give them the trophy.
It could give them problems, but then it is his first season, and it's not going to be really easy, because you can't be a fantastic player elsewhere, but once you get to the English Premier League, you could struggle for some time before you find your feet. But then I think Havertz is one player who knows what to do even when the going gets tough. So he could create something out of nothing, just like what Hazard was doing while at Chelsea. So I think it should be enough to send Shivers down the spine of opposition against Chelsea this season, because when you look at the way they went to the summer, the spends, in this window,
they're not done yet.
They're not done yet, because they're also looking for a goalkeeper that will give Kepa, a tough fight, and they're looking at Mendy of Rennes, and the Senegalese is being valued at £30 million. So it's something that maybe Chelsea could just go out and get him to give a tough competition to Kepa. But it would have been very, very good if they had gotten somebody to be their number one. But since Kepa has said he wants to fight for his place, and when you look at the money they spent on him, 71 million, I'm sure that is enough for him to just try and look for a better way to get his swag back. If not, I think Mendy or whoever comes in could just be the one to dethrone Kepa. But so far so good. Kai Havertz joining Chelsea, I think that was the biggest signing they've had this season, and is enough to spur them to win something or give others a tough fight. Even if Chelsea gets to face Manchester United, I'm not sure we are going to have what we had last time with Fonley, though the performance did not reflect the scoreline. But this time it's going to be difficult because we've got guys.
I forget that. Didn't Bayern Munich beat Barcelona 8-2. It doesn't matter because they have so many star players. It doesn't mean that they are not going to be beaten or embarrassed by another team. On the day that is their bad day, they could be caught and then they will get embarrassed.
But the reason I'm saying it is because in different positions they've strengthened in different positions, and it could be difficult. I understand it happens, but with what I'm seeing right now, this season Chelsea missed Manchester United.
Did Manchester City beat Manchester United 6-1? Did Manchester United not have all their best players? Did Manchester United beat Arsenal 8-2? Did they not have all those their players? So the fact that Chelsea have signed new players, it doesn't mean that you say when they meet Manchester United again, they are not going to lose 4-0. It could happen. It could also happen that they will beat Manchester United. They are likely to get stronger, but it doesn't mean that they will never ever again be beaten by a club or embarrassed by a club.
All right, let's take a look at the gossip right now. Scotland winger Ryan Fraser, he's 26, has agreed to join Newcastle United after leaving AFC Bournemouth in the summer and is set to have a medical later today. From Manchester United, the manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has spoken to England winger Jadon Sancho, who is 20, about joining the club from Borussia Dortmund this summer. And despite Gareth Bale's desire to leave Real Madrid, the club has still not received any bid for the ways forward, with 31-year-old reluctant to take a pay cut, putting off potential suitors. If you want to leave, then you have to take a pay cut. There's coronavirus. New Barcelona manager Ronald Koeman has told the club he wants to keep Felipe Coutinho this season rather than send the Brazilian playmaker 28 years old back out on loan. So I guess that would maybe end the story for him coming to Arsenal.
It's good now that Messi is staying. You have Philippe Coutinho coming back, because already they are losing Luis Suarez, who's going to be joining Juventus. So I don't know which player, very good quality player that they can get now. Coutinho is not a bad player. He's fantastic, and I was even, Liverpool did not even want him to go at the time that he left them. And when he got to Barcelona, the few times that he played, he did well. I don't think there is a deadlier player from outside the 18-yard box, just on the edge of the 18-yard box, than Philippe Coutinho in world football at the moment. Nobody bends it like him, the way he does when he gets the ball in that area, the way he just goes on and smashes it into the net. We saw his performance against Barcelona in the semi-final of the Champions League. He just had a few minutes, but he absolutely destroyed them. Well, they were already destroyed before he came, but he
added more words.
There are no chances of them recovering from the position that they were in as at the time that he came on. So he's not a bad player to have around. I would have been surprised if they had allowed him go, and I'm happy that the manager Coman is saying that he wants him. Who knows, he might stay and form a very good partnership with Lionel Messi and Griezmann, and eventually Messi would decide to stay and not leave at the end of the season.
All right, like you said, Barcelona forward Luis Suarez is due to sit a language test on Monday today in a bid to obtain Italian citizenship, allowing the Uruguayan striker to complete his move to Juventus. Now, Real Madrid, they are planning a £261 million squad overhaul and taking the likes of Borussia Dortmund striker Erling Haaland, Paris Saint-Germain France striker Kylian Mbappe to the club. Okay, Roma have joined the race to sign Lyon, and Netherlands forward Memphis Depay. We hear that Barcelona also interested in getting Memphis Depay. Then AC Milan goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma that has demanded a new contract worth 10 million euros per season and an interest from Chelsea in the Italian international. I guess if my very good friend is reading this one, Sly, Sly, you see this small boy, he doesn't like word. Leicester City are not willing to pay Saint-Etienne asking price for the defender Wesley Fofana, but are keen to negotiate a deal closer to £80 million for a 19-year-old. Then Edin Dzeko has asked to leave Roma and join Juventus. His age 34. Then Barcelona are preparing a final offer for Inter Milan Argentina striker Lautaro Martinez. Then Western United elsewhere will have to almost double their open bid of £27 million if they stand any chance to sign a Burnley centre back James Tarkowski. The question I'm asking, all these English guys, I mean, double this, that's almost £70 million. Is it worth it? Okay, let's see. Crystal Palace hoping to get another forward, Evan Nissen. If they lose Zaha, they are thinking about looking at that. And so those are some of the major important stories right now making rounds as far as Bruno is concerned for football and others. Okay, let's hope that your team, because the season gets to start this weekend, this particular weekend. Let's hope your team gets the recruitment in or before the transfer window will end on the 5th of October for you guys to have a great season ahead. All right, let's take a pause from us. Let's see it from the fans via the SMS.
This one reads, good morning, sports juniors. Please, Oga Ibra, Holland League and Portuguese League, which one is recognized first from greatness? I think you mean which one is rated higher. I would say I don't know. I'm only aware of the ranking for the top 5, but these ones are not. Both of them are not in the top 5. But I would think it will be the Dutch League, especially because of the exploits of Ajax in the Champions League and other stuff. But Portuguese League, FC Porto, Benfica, they've also done well in Europe. Dear Sportives, Mr. Ibrahim, is the NFF wholly independent or the sports ministry, or has partial interdependence and therefore still subject to its control? If the latter obtains, isn't that an interference on NFF activities by Ministry of Sport from Don Morgan? The NFF, the Nigeria Football Federation, they are supposed to be independent. Okay, that is what it is supposed to be. But you understand the way things operate. Football is sports, and we do not have a Ministry of Football. There is a sports ministry which oversees all sports in the country. So in that way, it is not interference. Yes, they can oversee the activities of the NFF, but what FIFA, because the basic thing about the interference that you can bring in is what FIFA considers interference, third-party interference. Of course, FIFA knows if Nigeria wants to host the World Cup now, it is not the NFF. It is the government. Yeah. I was there when Jack Warner, when he came to Nigeria, when we were about to host Nigeria 2009, and Dr. Goodluck Jonathan was the vice president then. And in Aso Rock, Warner was giving souvenirs to Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. And the one that got the biggest applause was, he said, wait, you don't have what I talk. Wait, Your Excellency, don't go. There's something else. After giving him different souvenirs, he now said, this is a pen. Pen. You know what you do? Because you'll be signing so many checks. Yeah. Give him a specially customized pen from there. I said, sir, you will sign many checks because of this tournament. So this one is for you. So even FIFA, they know that the government has a role to play. But what they consider interference is when it is football matter, like an election, who becomes the president of the NFF. Even the president of the country is not supposed to. Once he interferes, FIFA can ban you, but every other thing is okay. And that's why some governments have argued. But when it is money, they don't call it interference. The NFF can collect money from government, but when it comes to some business, they say it is interference. So the president of the country cannot just appoint somebody to say you are the one I want to be NFF president. Of course, he can do that, but you must have to go through the different congresses. All the state congresses and the NFF congress will come together.
Okay, we've agreed. Yes, no election. Let's just appoint this.
No, there must be election. There must be election, even if it is unopposed. There will still be elect. They will go through the process to say yes, this is the person. So that's the one that. But if you try to impose, then it will become an interference. So with the sports ministry, it is not interference so long as they do not try to force anybody on the NFF. But because they supervise the NFF, of course, they are allowed to do that one. Good men of sports, I just feel the lineswoman overreacted and their decision they made was just too harsh. Well, rules are rules. Yes, you are right. Rules are rules. Look, if they did not disqualify Djokovic, believe me, till today, people will be look till the end. I don't know. They will talk about it every time. So they did the right thing by disqualifying.
And he has accepted.
So he knew that what he did was wrong. As I said, I didn't think he did it. What did the woman do and when would that would make him want?
Even with the camera, even the commentator said that it's a mistake.
It was a mistake, but it was as Martina Navratilova, tennis great, said, it was unintentional, but it was also stupid. You don't do that. He's supposed to know. So if he's supposed to be telling young men and women coming into tennis that look, these are some of the things that you do not do on the court, but he did it. Is very, very wrong. Good days, sports crew. I've never heard of a man being a drama king. All this doesn't message should stop. Anfield, I think please you should go and check the meaning, because I think maybe people are having a problem with that expression, drama queen. Go and find out what a drama queen is. Please understand it first before you start talking about it. I beg.
Alright, let's take the panel with on the show this morning.
I'm very happy for Ansu Fati. He is 17 years old. You have to take it easy with him. Little by little, he will improve. Players of this age need serenity, humility, and that's what Ansu has already. Spain manager Luis Enrique reacting to the young stars' performance in the 4-0 win over Ukraine in the UEFA Nations League on Sunday. And that's the final whistle on the show this morning.
Once again, it's time for us to leave, but we'll be back by 4 p.m. for our football on the show, Buzz of Fire. Have yourself a wonderful day ahead, and bye-bye.
92.7 KUFM.
Trying to get or receive information through all corners of the globe requires unprecedented internet service. At Wireless NG, we provide fast, reliable, and affordable unlimited broadband internet service to homes and businesses. Service is currently available across Lagos and Benin. Visit us today at Wireless NG 5 Ramaya, Ikenede Street off PZ Sapler Road, Benin City, or our marketing office, 70 Olowo Complex, Airport Road, Benin City, or call 0807-887-9960 or 0703-672-9147. Wireless NG, erasing internet boundaries.
Come see for yourself, oh. This no be the one you go take on the ear here, oh. You must take your eyes see so that you self go enjoy wetin other people they enjoy. Who you Technica, the generator headquarters where they make everybody enjoy generators of all sizes and models for affordable price. Whether not the small one for barber shop or I been a big Perkins generator for factory and big building. Who you Technica, the place for generators, spare parts, grinding machine, pepper mill, and others. Mention the name and size of generator where you want. Bakam, who you Technica get them for the kind of money where they your pocket. Bakam, who you Technica get them. Go and take your eyes see for the generator headquarters. Who you Technica, 79, 81 and 83 Mission Road, Benin City, and all other Who you Technical branches. Who you Technica, affordable products for everybody jollification.
92.7 are now open for sponsorship and advert placements. For sponsorship and advert placements, call now for inquiries 070-380-50243 or 080-8877-3644 or visit KUFM Marketing Office located at the top floor of the Enterprise Foundation Building, number 62, Ihama Road, Benin City, Edo State. 92.7 KUFM is your business growth partner.
Don't you touch that dial.
Sugar, don't touch that dial.
From Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM News.
Good morning and welcome to KUFM's News Update at 9. I am Godslaw Orlando. Muhammadu Buhari is set to attend the 57th ordinary session of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. A statement issued on Sunday by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, said the President will leave Abuja on Monday for Niamey, Niger Republic, where he is to participate in the summit. According to the statement, the one-day summit will deliberate on the special report on COVID-19 to be presented by President Buhari, who was appointed by the ECOWAS champion on the fight against COVID-19 during the extraordinary virtual summit of ECOWAS on April 23, 2020. The summit will also receive a special report on the ECOWAS single currency program to be presented by President Julius Bayo of Sierra Leone and chair of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the West African Monetary Zone, and President Alassane Ouattara, who is the chair of the West African Economic Monetary Union. The federal government is said to spend, the federal government said it spent 30.5 billion naira in response to COVID-19 between April and July 2020. This is in response to a letter by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERP, which asked the government to provide a breakdown of how it spends the 36.3 billion naira donations and funds received to the fight the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Accountants General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, 30.5 billion naira was spent within the set date, and it represents 84% of the total sum. A further breakdown of the expenditure reveals that the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 spent 22 billion naira, while the 36 states spent a total of 7 billion naira. Others include the Nigerian Air Force, which spent 877 million naira for the deployment of assets in support of COVID-19 operations. The Nigerian Police Force spent 500 million naira on personal protective equipment, while about 18,000 naira was paid as bank charges. And now talking politics, where the candidate of the People's Democratic Party and Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has enjoined the people of Esako to encourage politics of unity and stay away from the politics of division and fighting, which will not help the state grow. The governor was speaking at Jatu, Esako West local government area, at a peace meeting organized between his running mate and a deputy governor of the state, Comrade Philip Shaibu, and one barrister Sule Egele. On the Ogun State, where the Association of Resident Doctors, Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, has suspended its industrial action for 2 weeks to allow for negotiation and worthy memorandum of understanding as requested by Ogun State Speaker during his intervention to resolve the issue. This was made in a statement signed by the President of the Association, Dr. Popola Abiodun, and General Secretary, Dr. Osundara Adewale, to Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun. The association said since the government was willing to take up the responsibility expected of a considerate and truthful administration without avoidance, they have decided to reconsider their stand, and that full clinical service will commence on September 7th. And finally, a news update at 9. The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Nigeria has hit 55,005. This follows the confirmation of 100 new COVID-19 cases in 10 states by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) in the last 24 hours. The states with new COVID-19 infections include Lagos with 39 cases, FCT with 22, Kaduna 19, Oyo 7, Ebonyi 6, Edo 3, Katsina, Ekiti, Bauchi and Nasarawa 1 each. And meanwhile, 91 COVID-19 patients were also reported to have recovered from the infection, bringing the total number of successfully treated cases in Nigeria so far to 43,013. And there are 3 more patients who died of COVID-19 related complications, with the death toll now 1,057. And that's KUFM's news update at 9. I am Godslove Orlando saying thanks for listening and good morning. Coming up next is Dialogue. Please stay tuned.
Everybody wants to know more of this and more of that. What is happening around the globe? Me, myself, I want to know. Said you know, 'cause I got good news for you. The best station is knocking on your door. Just sit back and relax, babe. Just sit back and relax. 'Cause all you have to do is listen to 92.7 KUFM. Into 92.7 KUFM. Into 92.7 KUFM. Into 92.7 KUFM. Into 92.7